Grey Goose. Please enjoy responsibly.
Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. Philip Rivers came back after 5 years away from football, Tony. Is there anything you did when you were younger you'd like to try again now?
I'm Tony Kornheiser. Twerking?
Okay, that scares me.
It was explained to me that's a dance.
Yeah.
Is that a dance?
I thought you were going to go gritty, and we might make you do it right here. You see that silly penguin dance.
Yeah.
Gritty penguin dance.
Okay, is twerking good or bad?
It depends on who you are.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Okay.
I'd like a little different look
Than
out of
me.
the person I'm watching twerk. That's just me.
Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, the Bills beat the Patriots. Philip Rivers falls just short, and the Thunder finally loses for just the second time this season. But we begin today with two season-ending knee injuries. Both Patrick Mahomes, the best football player on the planet, and Micah Parsons, who was brought in to lead Green Bay to the Super Bowl, tore their ACLs and will be out perhaps into the beginning of next season. Wilbon, what do these injuries mean for Mahomes and Parsons, for their teams and for the league?
We got to start with Mahomes, who's been, if not the face of the league, one of them, for the past, 8-9 years. He's been great. He's won multiple Super Bowls. He has led a team to prominence that's been around the league 60-plus years that never had that level of prominence. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, he's everything you want, right? I mean, the talent, the leadership, the personality, all of it.
Yeah.
He's got it all.
I think I just heard someone say the best football player on the planet,
You've been saying that for a while.
Yeah.
And so, Tony, it's just like, okay, but, we've seen guys do this. We've seen quarterbacks get hurt. Tom Brady in his 9th season, same as Mahomes, got hurt, came back and won 4 more Super Bowls after tearing up his knee. So we're encouraged
Joe Burrow.
about Joe Burrow came back and threw for like 5,000 yards. So we've seen quarterbacks do this.
Right.
We believe Mahomes can do it because he wants to do it.
That's right.
Now, the Packers with Parsons, they were a menace. They were starting to be his win rate for pass rushing. I know he's not Myles Garrett when it comes to actual sacks, but his ability to zero in on a quarterback and change a game is right there with Garrett's. Garrett's the only guy better. And now, Tony, I don't think the Packers have that element. And look, let me declare, I got some baggage here.
Sure.
Because my team plays his team Saturday night in prime time with a division title and a playoff spot at stake. Yeah. But without Parsons, I don't know that Green Bay has a good enough defense to be the Super Bowl team that he was brought in to make them. And he was getting it done.
Yeah. So if I had to rate the immediate impact, I would say Parsons' impact is greater than Mahomes.
Yeah.
Because his team is still in the playoff chase. Yeah. Mahomes' team isn't. Kansas City is now out of the playoffs for the first time since 2014. This is an astonishing fact that I'm going to read to you. For the first time since 1998, there will be playoffs this year without Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, or Patrick Mahomes since 1998. Now, I think that Mahomes' absence lessens the entire league, and I know you feel the same way. But like you, I also feel he's only 30. He's only 30. There's a second act, and what you said about Brady is correct. In their 9th seasons, both now have gone out with torn ACLs. Brady came back 6 more Super Bowls, 4 more trophies, okay? In terms of Parsons, the reason it's more impactful is Green Bay is now, are they 9-4-1?
Yes,
I believe.
they are.
But they have been, and that's the most important trade of the year. Yes. And it was working. As you said, it was working.
It was.
But now we are in this situation where they are riddled by injuries. Torn ACL there, tight end, Tucker Kraft, torn ACL. Right, and
chest
guys on the line, on the offensive line are being picked off. So we both think that, yes, Mahomes can come back. Brady did, Burrow did. My question, I am a doctor, but not that kind of doctor. I don't know if you are a pass rusher, if a torn ACL is worse than if you are a quarterback. I know if you're a running back and you're Adrian Peterson, you get back in 6 weeks.
Brady and Joe Burrow didn't move.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes
He moves.
So it's going to have some impact on him. By the way, real quickly, the NFL is not the NBA. As big as those stars are, the league, it finds other places and jerseys that people will root for. It does.
No,
because there are huge fan bases out there as big as Mahomes made Kansas City.
But Mahomes,
other fan bases.
Mahomes is transcendent. Mahomes is transcendent. Let's stay with the NFL. Move to teams with big wins yesterday. These would include Buffalo coming back from 21 points down in New England, beating the Patriots. Denver beat Green Bay 34-26 in Denver after being down 23-14 in the second half. Rams went back and forth with the Lions, finally pulled away 41-34. The Ravens shut out the Bengals in Cincinnati 24-0. The Eagles held the Raiders to 75 yards, shut them out 31-0. Wilbon, which team had the biggest win?
That's easy. Buffalo. Buffalo went on the road and beat a team that's out there playing for the number 1 seed, a division rival that had just strung together wins and
10.
you know,
10 in a row.
Okay, so no, the answer is the Bills. All these other teams, and you and I talked about this on your podcast this morning, they won games where you're the favorite and you're at home overwhelmingly. Baltimore wasn't at home. Everybody else is at home. And you go out there and you exert. You know, you go and dominate an opponent you're supposed to dominate. The Bills went up there, and I don't know who the betting favorite was because I don't care. They beat a Patriot team they were trailing.
The Bills were 1.5.
They were?
Yeah, minus
21-0 New England. And you look at that score, and people thought, oh, my God.
I'll give you some small pushback on Denver because Denver was not the favorite. Yeah, but they're not the favorite.
I don't care about
Green Bay.
Vegas.
Well, they're
at home.
Okay.
Who did I think was going to win that game? I picked Denver to win that game.
In your confidence pool?
Yes.
A lot of people went the other way. So I will agree with you completely on Buffalo for the exact same reasons. They go on the road, they're down 21, and they win the game. And also because Josh Allen is reestablishing himself as a great player. Last few games, just a great player.
Yeah.
And New England had won 10 in a row, and they were at home. So the other day we were asked on this show, right now, last Friday, what are your Super Bowl teams? And I said the Bills and the Rams. I'm sticking with that right now. The Rams
in Seattle.
Yeah, the Rams had a very good win.
Rams are impressive.
The Rams had a very
like
good
that.
win.
Yeah.
This is the second week in a row they've gone 40 points or greater. And that combination of Stafford to Nakua is very, very hard to stop. Let me go to the other teams that we're talking about that were at home and won very big. Your Bears did, Jacksonville did, Houston did, the 49ers, the Eagles.
Should have.
Right. No,
all of them.
No, and I'm leaving out Denver for reasons that I tried to allude to before.
Okay.
Here's the thing. They beat teams that were at best mediocre. So that's why I'm reluctant to say the Eagles are fully back because they beat the Raiders. Yeah. Houston looks scary good.
They do.
But they beat Arizona. Okay? The one thing that I'm certain of is that the 49ers have been completely neglected in that fabulous division because Seattle and the Rams are getting all the ink. But they beat the Titans. So I don't know. And
they gave up 24.
Here's what's good. I think you will agree with me on this. For the first time in a long time, the conference races are wide open. It's not just the Chiefs in the AFC.
No.
And in the NFC, it looks like 5 different teams could win. So that's good. From a fan standpoint, that's good.
It is good, Tony. And all of those teams, it's good. We spent all year saying we don't know who's any good. Now these teams are lined up at the start line. Do you know it's like go time.
Do you know what
now
the Thursday
with 3
night
weeks
game
left?
is? Do you know the Thursday night game?
No.
I'm pretty sure it's Rams at Seattle. That's a big game.
Good.
Devontae Adams may be out for that game, right? Because he hurt his hamstring. He's a touchdown machine.
Hurt his hammy.
So
you know what the Saturday night game is?
No. It's Bears?
Cheeseheads
at Bears.
at
Bears.
Field.
Okay.
That's right. And now to the return of Phillip Rivers. The 44-year-old tossed a touchdown pass in his first game since 2020, then led a late drive that gave his team a chance at an upset at one of the league's top teams. But the Seahawks, aforementioned, countered quickly, rewrote Rivers' storybook ending. You got such a soft spot for the elderly.
Because I'm elderly.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
So you were going crazy over this game yesterday.
Yes.
What did you see watching Rivers play?
Can I use the word amazing? Can I say it was amazing?
You want to go that far?
I'm going to tell you why. Because I thought he'd get carted out. I did. And you did too.
I did.
Thought he'd get carted out.
I did.
And he did not.
No.
I saw him early in the game take a knee, and then nobody touched him, so he went 3 more yards.
Like he didn't know where his knee was going to land.
Another knee at that point. Look, he delivered the ball quickly. He delivered the ball accurately.
He better.
I got to the point where in the second half I didn't watch with my hands over my eyes because I thought he was going to be all right. His stats are okay. They're not great. 18 to 27 is good, but only 120 yards, 1 touchdown, a pick on the last thing when he was just throwing the ball in the air. But he had them in a position to win.
He did. That's the most impressive thing.
I have to say, it could have been so much worse than it was. And I was amazed by it.
I'm going to be the other candidate on this one. He had control of the pocket. That's what I expect from Philip Rivers. Like, if you're going to come back at 107 years old.
5 years.
Okay, but the one thing.
Grandfather.
He's not going to sprint out
No.
to the right.
No.
Okay?
Can't.
Looking like Josh Allen. He's not going to do that. So he's got to have control of the pocket. He did. He's got to have command. He did.
Why didn't they rush him? Why didn't they bring the house? Why didn't they do that? Why didn't Seattle do that?
Maybe they went all week and they didn't even think he was going to actually start and play that much of the game. They were wrong. He did. So I give him kudos. But after I gave him kudos in live time, I said to you in live time, okay, I've had enough now. I've had enough Philip Rivers.
I know.
I'm impressed that he's, by the way, it takes courage to step in and do what he is doing.
Do you know that he's going to start next week against the 49ers? He's going to start.
49ers might be a little less merciful. It might be.
Might be.
But all I'm saying is, enough. We've done Philip Rivers now. If the novelty's worn off, so let's not get crazy.
I understand why you feel the way you do. And I understand that they are probably not a contending team for the playoffs anymore. They might be. But it feels, in your mind, this is a past story. And in my mind, they have 3 tough games. They have San Francisco, they have Jacksonville, they have Houston. They may not win any of them. But whatever chance they have is because of Philip Rivers, a 44-year-old grandfather. And so I'm
not that guy.
I'm so impressed by it.
Back with 28 on his jersey.
It's because you're young.
Because
you're young.
Because I'm 23 years older than Philip Rivers.
Relatively speaking to me, you're young. Let's take a break. Coming up after losing to the Spurs on Saturday is the Thunder suddenly vulnerable.
Get me rewrite. Do we have beef between Kevin McConnell and his quarterback? Do we?
O'Connell.
What did I say?
I don't know. McConnell,
Kevin O'Connell, no.
Maybe.
Kevin O'Connell. I'm going
Philip Rivers almost won that game. He almost won that game.
They were close.
And they didn't cart him out. Time to find out what's rankling the riffraff in mail time. Let me get the first one and put on my glasses.
That is strong language for a Monday.
Spurs beat Thunder. Just one loss, or do you suddenly see the Thunder as vulnerable?
Okay, this is going to be one of the great flip-flops of all time. Because last week on Thursday or Friday, you said to me, you're going to back down in this crazy position that the Thunder cannot win again. And I said, yes, I'm backing down. And then I watched these two teams play. And it seems to me that Oklahoma City is vulnerable to only one team in the league today, and it is San Antonio.
Not Denver.
Not Denver, who has the best player.
Okay.
Tony, San Antonio has it all. I know that you think you'd still entertain that trade for Giannis because that would help you win today. Tony, I wouldn't do it. Because with Castle and De'Aaron Fox and Ron Harper's kid and Wembanyama, who played half a game and was dominant.
Yeah.
Tony, there's nothing San Antonio doesn't have now. And yes, Oklahoma's vulnerable to San Antonio now.
Okay. So I know how you feel because we talked about it last night and this morning. You love the Spurs. You love Wembanyama. You love Castle. You don't want to trade Castle for Giannis. I understand.
I think he's a new SGA.
Yeah, let me get to this issue. Are they vulnerable now? I don't believe this one game means anything. And I do want to see, they have 2 more before Christmas, and I want to see those games. At the moment, what's their record? Oh, hello, 24-2, right? 24-2. This is, they just lost to a rapidly improving team, and I understand that. But I think the talk about 80 wins is insane, okay? It's a long season. Players get hurt. Motivation ebbs and flows. Me, personally, I think they're the best team in the league, but I think they're going to lose 10 to 15 games. I don't want to get hung up on the game.
I'm with you.
But this particular game, to me, has no particular meaning. Now, if they lose 2 more, okay. But they didn't lose 2 more yet.
You're talking about the head-to-head.
Head-to-head, yes.
All right, okay. Well, I want to go to this quickly before you move on. This Giannis situation. Giannis is going to get traded. You really believe the Spurs should bite and say, let's go now. This is Giannis. Let's go. You believe that?
You can only win now because we're only playing now. Yes, I would do that. But next year, you don't know what's going to happen. Go now.
Castle.
I wouldn't trade Castle.
Okay. All right. It's a negotiation. O'Connell versus McCarthy. What is J.J. McCarthy? what does his defiant touchdown celebration say to you about his relationship with his head coach?
Okay, so apparently McCarthy did this same thing in practice.
Gritty.
That this is his way of honoring Justin Jefferson, who apparently does this in the game.
Yes.
Okay? Now, he was told by the coach, please don't do this in the game.
Right.
I don't know if the coach ever said to Justin Jefferson, don't do that in the game. I doubt that he did that, but he said it to McCarthy. And then McCarthy, I watched it live, by the way, didn't know what it was, and I thought, what a showboat move that was. And then after the game, McCarthy says, as everybody says, that's just who I am. But then he backs off a little bit and he says, okay, I understand this, maybe it's a mistake, and so on and so forth. Look, here's the thing. I understand why the coach is steamed. I get that. But there's a critical factor here. It seems to me that the members of that Minnesota team love J.J. McCarthy. He doesn't have a full resume yet, but he's getting better. I suspect this is resolved by him not doing it again and it becomes forgotten.
That's interesting. Two things about J.J. McCarthy, Chicago boy, who I would root for all the time except when he's playing my team. He's Chicago team.
You didn't root for him at Michigan.
Rooting for him.
You didn't root for him.
He's okay at Michigan.
You didn't.
He did something that we respect all quarterbacks for doing, defying the head coach. What quarterback worth a damn have you ever known? Maybe we go back to Roger Staubach, who had a different relationship with authority because of the naval life. Every quarterback who's worth a damn defies his head coach. And we love Joe Theismann. He defied Joe Gibbs, at least a little bit. Come on now. This goes back 100 years.
I don't think that's a mark, mark of honor.
He defied him. You know what I see J.J. McCarthy do? Throw a pass to Justin Jefferson that's not 130 miles an hour. You don't need to go Koufax on every pass to Justin Jefferson.
But
and he does.
You notice how much they like him. Teammates like him. They really do. Enough email. Let's take one last.